Hi guys, and welcome back to my Evilness podcast, or my Evilness channel. I keep forgetting to say that. Thank you so much for joining me today. We will be talking about the true crime case of Matthew Milat, who, as the name would suggest, is the great nephew of Ivan Milat. Matthew Melman was born in 1992, which was the same year that the bodies of Ivan's first two victims were found. He was only 3 years old when Ivan Milat was sentenced to 7 life sentences for his crimes. Matthew was a quiet and modest boy who grew into a dark and dangerous teen, and at 14 years old had officially changed his surname to Milat. Matthew grew up in a small Sydney town called Belanglo, where he was always talking about his great uncle Ivan. He always wanted to go to the Belanglo forest killing ground to smoke marijuana. Matthew had a small group of friends from the local Picton High School. On the 20th of November 2010, David Archterlonia, one of Matthew's friends, was celebrating his 17th birthday. He spent the morning with his parents, and in the afternoon he went to visit his grandparents who had brought him up. While a lot of people had distanced themselves from Matthew, David had stood by him. When David left his grandparents' house that day, he said he was going to meet up with mates at the local hangout. All the while, 2 of those so-called friends had been making plans as well. Matthew Milat and Cohen Klein drove up to the hangout spot and told David and Chase Day was another friend of the boys, to get into the car. They were going to the Belanglo State Forest to drink and smoke weed to celebrate David's birthday. Chase asked Milat why Belanglo, and Milat said they'd be free to drink and smoke without getting caught, and that he wanted to check out the plaque that had been erected in memory of his great uncle's victims. After reaching their destination, they parked the car at the junction of the Belanglo Creek and Old Pine Road fire trails. The forest was pitch black as the boys sat in the car and listened to music and smoked weed. Matthew Milat got out of the car and walked to the boot. Then he called to David to get out. Chase Day would later say that he heard David scream. Milat had hit him in the ribs with a medieval-style double-sided axe. Klein had gotten his mobile phone out to record everything. This recording went on for 15 minutes. When Chase got out of the car and realised what was happening, Klein told him to get back into the car and to shut up. There had been a rumour going around that Milat had stolen money from his mother, although I'm not sure if that's true, but this was Milat's excuse for the attack, that David was telling people this. Chase said he saw Milat chasing David around the car with the axe, accusing him of starting this. Milat screamed at David to get on the ground or he would kill him. David denied he had said anything and begged Milat to stop. Then he heard silence. Matthew then told Cohen and Chase to help him move David's body into the surrounding bushland, where they covered it with leaves and branches. On the way back to Belanglo, Chase would later recount that Milat seemed to be on a high, saying that was such an adrenaline rush, to which Cohen replied, "I told you were going down the same path as your uncle." Milat dropped the 2 home, telling them he was going to dump both the axe and his clothes into Mermaid's Waterhole. After a sleepless night, the next morning, Chase told his dad what had happened the night before, and his dad took him straight to Camden Police Station, where he told detectives what had happened. Cohen was arrested later that same day, and the recording was found on his mobile phone. also arrested not long after Cohen. Police found his shoes still covered in David's blood. His grandfather went with him to the police station. His grandfather was Ivan Milat's brother, Bill. After David's body was recovered from the Belanglo State Forest, the police had to inform his family. David's grandparents had the devastating task of identifying his body. Police divers found the murder weapon in a waterhole where Milat had said he was going to dump it. Chase Day's charge of being an accessory after the fact was dismissed after the mobile phone video revealed he had tried to stop the other two and had only helped move the body out of fear for his own life. Cohen Klein was initially charged with being an accessory after the fact and concealing a serious indictable offence. But this was upgraded to murder after text messages between Cohen and Milat were found, planning the murder for at least a week before committing the act. Milat openly boasted to others, saying, "We're going out to Belanglo, someone's going to die," and after the murder, Nephew Milat made the chilling statement, quote, "You know my family, you know the last name Milat, I did what they do," unquote. The 15-minute recording made by Klein was played in the court. Dark poetry written by Milat from jail was presented as evidence for his lack of remorse. One read, "Hear the crunch of leaves and feet, feel your heart skip a beat. Are you gonna get away? No hope, kid, this is your day. The day you won't be found, 6 feet underneath the ground." Nephew Milat was found guilty and sentenced to 43 years with a minimum term of 30 years. Cohen Klein was found guilty and sentenced to 32 years with a minimum term of 22 years. So that is all for the case of Nephew Milat. Thank you guys so much for listening or watching today, and I'll try and get another one done really soon. I hope you have a great day. Bye!